that ass up. Today, Generation X coming at your ass humble. I'm going to be cool today. I'm going to be real cordial. Take my time with this one. I want to elaborate everything that I got to say in a short period of time. I don't want to hold y'all all day. And this is kind of a follow-up to my last video. If you ain't seen the hour, it's like an hour and 15 hour, 14 minute long slideshow, me breaking down and showing you the richness in these tropical lands and these black nations, and how these European and foreign powers are extorting our people. Okay, and the reason y'all need to recognize these type of things going on in the world is because y'all need to understand why when I say black people need our own nation, y'all need to understand why I'm saying these things. I'm not just pulling this shit out my ass. We need our own nation. We need to be self-sufficient. We need to create our own laws, our own way of life, our own constitutions and all that, you know. Just because y'all see America today, just because y'all see the laws, America is not the first country, the first constitution, the first republic, America is a revert of everything. All these countries. I mean, nations have been civilizing for thousands of years, especially black people. We've been around for hundreds of thousands of years, civilizing, creating territories, creating tribes, you know, battling with each other, creating empires. Okay, so this ain't nothing new, y'all. These countries, all this stuff ain't nothing new. We can create our own country. Marcus Garvey laid down the blueprint. All right, Black Wall Street put it in motion pretty much in America. So you combine the two, you got a gold mine, all right? Black people, we're going to have our own nation. And now I'm finna give y'all 5 reasons why black people, why we need to separate from European powers and European alliances. Now, the first main reason that we need to separate from the European powers is due to racism. Now, racism is very important. It's still going on. I don't want you to sit up here and think racism is just about somebody calling you the N-word, or somebody calling you a cracker, or somebody calling your daughter an N-word or something like that. Racism runs very deep into your system, okay? It goes back to the people who are in control of your economy. And when you have a whole nother race of people controlling black people's economy and they're racist, and, you know, it's not going to turn out pretty for the black community. Okay, it's gonna be a lot of extortion going on, miseducation, and all that type of stuff. That's what I'm getting into. This is what this video is about. It's to help y'all understand why when I say, or when you hear anybody say that black people need our own nation, this is why. So we won't have to deal with none of this stuff, and we can step outside of this and have our own way of life and create our own nation. Cause now I gotta keep going on the racism. You know, I got to keep going because racism is just so deep, and they try to tell you to forget. They try to tell you to forget about the past, you know, how it was in the past and all that type of stuff. But we done been through some bullshit with white folks. Y'all know this. And for my average white people down here, y'all have kind of been brainwashed into thinking that y'all hate black people too. But in reality, these elites have just been playing these cards on us so they can control our lands and take over our resources. It ain't really got nothing to do with y'all. Y'all come in as the front, like everything's okay, and then to overpopulate the land with y'all's people. So when y'all's elite are making their moves and looking like it's doing what's right for everybody, in reality they're doing what's right for y'all and y'all people, okay? And our lands have just been colonized, and y'all tell us to just don't worry about the past, forget about it, we can work together. No, we're not gonna go into the future trying to work together, but leave y'all in charge and let y'all extort our people. Let y'all control all the resources. While the wealth margin in this country and all over the world just steady spreading out. You know, it's a small amount of Europeans who hold all the wealth, but it's a large amount of black people all over the world who in poverty. No, we ain't going out like that no more. Because the same Europeans that'll tell you to forget about the past, forget about slavery, forget about it, them the same Europeans who celebrate Independence Day, who remember the Holocaust, who are always talking about the Civil War and all these past. You got white folks now who will go out and reenact the Civil War or reenact the gladiators. They'll reenact the Renaissance days. but they don't want you to forget about it. They don't want you to remember your past. They want you to forget. Now, see, that's racism. That's racism at its best. Like I said, it's not just about no hate thing. It's just about the power system. Who's in control? And then the just by what's been going on, these people in control have just been making us look like the bad guy, making us look like the jungle cat. You know, that we ain't got shit. We uncivilized and all that. No, that's racism at its best. So with our own nation, with black people having our own nation, we won't have to worry about that. We don't have to worry about no racism because we in control. We're going to vote for our people. We're going to have our people getting rich and our people running our country. That's what we want. And reason number 2 is because of y'all's false God. Now, the reason I say false God is because black people, we have to know that the reason we are Islams and Christians and Catholics and all these other different religions is because we were colonized. Now, people, we've been knowing this for years, and it's true. That's why it hasn't changed. The facts never change. Our religion was changed into Christianity and Islam and all that due to slavery and us being colonized. And it was a lot of reasons to why they had to switch your God, but one of the main reasons is so you would deify the European. You would look up to them. You would think that they're your savior, and you will look in the sky for all your answers. You won't think to do nothing down here on earth for yourself. You think that you think that all power is in some imaginary man's hand. So while the Europeans are down here collecting all the resources and getting richer, you just waiting on your paradise in heaven. You ain't worried about this down here. So we need to get away from y'all's false God. Reason number 3, extortion, child trafficking. Yes, this shit is being exposed worldwide now. It's been being exposed for a while now, but the black community as a whole is now starting to open up our eyes to this shit and really see what's going on. And like I said, if y'all seen my slideshow that I posted yesterday, if you ain't seen it, please go back and look at it. If you watch this video, go look at that slideshow. Watch the whole entire video, because I break down America too. It ain't just Africa and Haiti. I break down America, why America got ghettos and it's full of resources, okay? Our lands, the tropical lands of this world, are being extorted. And the people who are indigenous to these lands have been colonized and are being extorted. And I'm one of those people, okay? And it's got to stop. That's why we need our own nation. We're not going to extort ourselves. We're not going to extort. Like I said, if Europeans would get out the way, black people have enough natural resources to build our own empires around the world. Do y'all hear me? And this is true. So yes, we need to get away from y'all because y'all extort us and y'all do a lot of child trafficking, sex trafficking and stuff like that. So we don't want y'all touching our babies. We don't want y'all adopting our children. I'm tired of seeing that too. I'm tired of seeing European people adopt black kids. It always makes us look like a charity case, like y'all gonna take better care of them or something like that. I don't want to see that no more. I don't want to see black people adopting white folks. People need to adopt their own kind so this child won't grow up confused and having to be taught some other. I don't want to see it no more. A lot of things that's going on today just don't need to be going on and shouldn't be going on. Especially y'all Christians, y'all think it's a God up there and he letting all this child trafficking and all this pedophilia going on. Come on, man. That's why we need to break away from European powers and all it, because they are into extortion and child trafficking. Reason number 4, miseducation. Hiding truths, hiding knowledge. Yes, European powers. Y'all have miseducated the African American community terribly. We don't know nothing about ourselves. We don't know. We just now coming into true spiritual knowledge, true knowledge about sun gazing and eating healthy and being and reaching our full potential of being. We didn't know nothing about that. We didn't know how divine black was. We didn't know nothing about ancient Kemet. We didn't know that them was black people. We didn't know that most of the nations, most of the countries in the world was civilized and black people been there already doing their thing. We didn't know most of the inventions, most of the creations in this country that we use is made by black people. We wasn't taught that in school. We were very miseducated. So when we have our own nation, we'll be able to teach our own children. We'll be able to educate them and raise them right. Teach them about Marcus Garvey. Teach them about Khalid Muhammad, Malcolm X. They ain't just got to know about Martin Luther King. You know, somebody who told you turn the other cheek. They going to learn about great kings, Mansa Musa, Queen Zinga, great queens. They're going to learn that the ancient Egyptians, most of the greatest nations in the world, in the past time, the ancient days, even up to recent days, before Columbus, we had great empires, okay? That's what we're going to teach our babies. We ain't going to miseducate our babies in our own nation. Number 5. Number 5 is just a summary of all of it, really. Number 5, the fifth reason why I say we should release ourselves from European powers and European alliance is so we can get our people back on track. Because we've been lost. I'm sorry. I was lost. It's still a lot for me to learn, but I was lost. If you would have came at me back when I was in high school or something like that, I would have never had these thoughts. I would have never been thinking about black people forming their own nation and us having our own power structure. But the reason we need to break away from these European elites is so we can get back on track. Okay? So we can finally see that we can do things. We can do it together. We can do it. We don't all have to be under the same religion. We don't all have to be under the same cult and all this stuff. You can do what you do. But when it comes to the power structure and who controls the resources, who's building your homes, who controls your electricity, your solar power, who controls your sanitation, who controls your food supply, who controls your farms, your mines, who controls the air? Black people. That's what we want. Black people. Us. We gonna control everything. Down to the socks. Y'all hear me? Down to the gravel. Okay? We gonna make our own rules, our own regulations. Yeah, of course they're gonna be similar to what we already know in our head, because basic human rights don't come from America. America didn't give you basic human rights. That shit already been embedded in you. We've been using this since ancient days. Even when y'all look in the Bible and y'all see the 10 Commandments, they got that out of Kemet. They got that out of ancient African civilization. We made law. Okay? We've been doing this. So we're going to be just fine going into our own nation. But the first step for us to get our own nation, you have to know that we're going to do it. Not believe. You have to know in your heart that black people can do it. And we can.